Hey there, this is Tom from Tom's Tech Show. Went out and shot some pictures, and we're going to bring them here to the computer and edit them live. Hey there, this is Tom's Tech Show. Went out to the beach. It was going to kind of maybe be a good sunset. I don't know. I haven't quite pulled everything out of the camera yet, but we're going to do that right now. Pull the card out. We're going to stick it in this little machine here and see what we've got. I've got Lightroom up here, and we're going to go to the import tab here. Let me switch to there. Okay, we've got the import coming up. Let's see what images we're pulling up. So I was there. We did F8 and come on. There we go. Doing F8. Started at 100 ISO. As the evening progressed, we started doing more and more higher ISO. So we're pulling this up here. Okay, here I've got the pictures up. I'm going to just select them all and click import. It's going to bring them in my 2019 folder, my first 2019 folder. Yay! All right. This is going to take a minute, so we'll let this run and we'll start back up again. Okay, so we're looking at some of these, and the first couple were just kind of generic right out over the pier. I went under the pier, so trying to find some kind of a view or an angle underneath, and the sun at that point was really bright, so it kind of blew out the pier, just made it dark in all the shots. I did see back behind us the sun was hitting on the hill behind us and was lighting the hill up, even though it should be kind of dark, so it was lighting that up. Really made it stand out. I thought that might be something I could work with. Then we walked out on the end of the pier, and here's some of the pictures. This number 14 here, I really like that. I might work on that a little bit here. But after that, once we got back down, there really wasn't a lot of color. Color kind of faded out. It's kind of hit and miss, right? When you get to the edge and the sun is going down over the edge of the earth, is there space in the sky for it to shine light curving back up underneath all of the clouds? So you don't know if that's going to happen or not. It really didn't this evening, so let me go and see what I can do with this one picture here. So we're going to develop. I really want to see if I can get some of the railing here to come up. So first I'm going to remove my chromatic aberrations, and I'm going to enable profile correction for the lens that I was using, which is my Canon 18-135. And we're going to come up to the top, and I'm going to take the shadows, and I'm going to open the shadows up, see if some of that comes back. I do have an overexposed version of this, so if I get it all the way up, I can now see the railing right here, and I got some detail in it, so that's what I want to see. And I'm at ISO 100 when I took this, and F8, so I've got a lot of it in focus, so I'm getting detail. ISO 100, so I'm not getting a ton of grain or anything in it, so it's really coming out nice. The sensor really has quite a bit of depth to it. So newer cameras will have more depth, but we work with what we've got, right? So if I bring down some of the highlights, that will make some of the stuff in the sky kind of stand out a little bit more. I'm going to increase my whites a little bit just to brighten it up and kind of pull the blacks down a little bit, and that gives me just a little bit more of that contrast in the picture. It seems to be a little bit crooked, so that you can see the sky, the curvature here of the ocean. There's going to be a little bit of a curve because we're talking I don't know how many miles that's going to be out there on the horizon. But I can click my little level, go from drag a line from this side over to this side, let it up, and that's going to straighten it for me. So now we're straight. I might take and boost the clarity a little bit here. I mean, you can go crazy with clarity, and that's just really going to eat things into the sky. But we're losing down here on the bottom. We're losing our fence, so I might need some kind of a radiated filter here to be able to bring that up. So that kind of looks good. I'm going to increase my saturation a little bit, just kind of bring that up. Okay, that I'm kind of liking now, but I need a graduated filter here that we're going to put down on the bottom. So let's get that coming up. Okay, so I'm going to pull a graduated filter up here from the bottom, and I'm just going to drag it up kind of to the middle here. So maybe a little bit higher. There is some. Okay, so now this is just increasing exposure a little bit. I might not want to do that. I might want to just do the shadows only to bring that railing way out, and then I'm going to reduce the exposure. So I'm bringing the exposure down. I don't want to go have the exposure be too high and make, you know, the ocean kind of seem, you know, like it's not real. Okay, so that I kind of like right there. Okay, so that I'm actually really liking. I mean, that the railing is really showing up well. If I zoom in here, I can see a lot of it. There is a little bit of noise, so we'll have to go do some noise reduction. So come down here, go to detail, and go to noise reduction. I usually put it around 50% with this lens. Kind of gives me a good feeling for what the picture is. I don't usually do much sharpening with this lens because often the sharpening will just bring out more noise and just make it, you know, a little bit even grainier in some areas and distort things a little bit with this camera and this sensor. Okay, so I like that. That looks pretty good. Sometimes I will put down in the effects, so you can put a small vignette around the edges just to kind of bring everything into the center, but I like how the railing is kind of giving an offset angle. The angle of this railing right here ended up being almost the same angle as that little bead here in the clouds. I really like how that symmetry is right there. I really like that. So, okay. So there we go. This is kind of the final image that I came up with. That shows you my process that I kind of use. I might take an image and use all three images because I do bracket the images. Take the standard exposure, an image 2 stops over, an image 2 stops under, and then run them through some kind of program that does, you know, HDR, the high dynamic range. But if I can, then I'll just pull out, you know, the details just like I did here. Just kind of move the shadows out and do different things like that. I think I get a better, more natural result, and that's kind of what I like. That's the photo I'm going to share. If you like this video, or you like videos about movies and TV, if you like videos about technology, I do a lot of things on VMware, AWS, things like that. That's kind of my job, and I kind of bring that into my video channel here. If you just want to hear somebody ramble, I do that on occasion. So like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.